Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about pretty much the entire market. We're going to be addressing Bitcoin. We're going to be talking about the altcoin market cap as well as the entire market as well. We're really going to be talking about a few things that I've been personally watching for and looking for. So let's just jump into it. So initially speaking, I do want to address the idea on how the alt season works, because I think a lot of people were actually a little bit confused from my video yesterday, and that's totally fine. I understand it. A lot of people are new here, and I don't judge, right? Listen, if you're just getting into this market, pat yourself on the back because we are still extremely early within crypto. And even if you buy now and wait, 2, 3 years maybe, overall, whatever you're buying now is going to increase in price. But this is exactly how we get to alt season. This is how things work. So first off, these are the paths. Now, will we be seeing alt season happen right now because Bitcoin jumped out of, 60K? Absolutely not. So this is the path, right? Phase 1, Bitcoin, money flows into Bitcoin, causing price surges. We do see here phase overlap, money flows into Ethereum, but it struggles to keep up with Bitcoin. Ethereum goes back and forth with Bitcoin and starts outperforming it. Phase 2, Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin, and we hear talks of the flippening. We also see here phase overlap, money is starting to trickle into large caps, where we see large buy-ups happen. And then phase 3, again, large caps. Ethereum has been outperforming Bitcoin, and large caps are going parabolic. And then we also see down here, regardless of market cap, some altcoins with strong fundamentals are having pumps. And then, of course, phase 4 is pretty much everything, right? It's mid caps, low caps, micro caps, all of that going absolutely crazy. You guys feel the euphoria. Pretty much a lot of people will be saying, don't sell, we're going tops, blah, blah, blah. No. Overall, this is what we're watching for. Now, where are we? We are still in phase 1. Bitcoin hasn't hit its all-time high. It hasn't gone into price discovery yet again. Once it does, I think that is where we pretty much watch for phase 2 happening, where, Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. Look at on the 7-day span, Bitcoin is outperforming Ethereum right now. So we have to watch this closely. For anybody who is confused on that, this is not happening just yet. We still have a little bit of time to go. Again, when we're talking about Bitcoin dominance, this is why I talk about Bitcoin dominance with Bitcoin all the time. This is what we want to see. We want to see a deep decrease in Bitcoin dominance with an increase in Bitcoin for the increased fast alt season of alts running in price. Right now, what we are seeing is sort of a decrease in Bitcoin dominance, a decrease in Bitcoin, and alts really kind of just stable right now. But the problem is that Bitcoin dominance still is at a fairly high level, and we're going to be talking about that. So, before we officially jump into anything, let's talk about the coin market cap, and really let's talk about what's happening right now. We are down to $2.47 trillion, nothing too crazy there. Down about 0.86%, nothing crazy. Bitcoin back down below 61K at about 60.5K, down 2.80%. I'm just saying, we will talk about that, right? We're going to be talking about Bitcoin. We're going to be talking about how low we can go. And yeah, we're going to be talking about XRP a little bit, and we're also going to be talking about XLM, because XLM has officially broke out of its descending wedge. It is actually up 10.95%. And you know what I said about XLM and XRP? They move closely together, so I wouldn't be surprised if we will see a breaking point on XRP as well. But overall, we are also going to be talking about Hbar, because Hbar hasn't really broken out just yet, and it is still around the 37-cent zone. But do not underestimate XLM right now. XLM is doing great. It is up about 11.25%, and I'm very excited for what the future has to hold. Now, before we fully jump into this video, I just want to let you guys know that I still have a website where I upload all my portfolio insights, all that kind of stuff. If you guys do want this, you guys can come on here and get any product on here. I do have exit strategies, portfolio insights, but I also have a full bundle that includes all future products as well as all the products on the store right now for $60. If you guys do want to get it, you guys are more than welcome to. Now, let's talk about Bitcoin. So, Right now, Bitcoin's volume is decreasing as well as the RSI. RSI has not bottomed out just yet. I think that we can go much lower. Overall, on the macro time levels, we could actually see a lot of volume flowing out of Bitcoin, initially starting pretty much on, it was actually yesterday on this candle right here. So overall, when we're talking about Bitcoin right now, on the macro time levels, it doesn't look too good. Even on the 2-hour, it looks fairly bad. And I was addressing this yesterday as well in regards to the volume decreasing on Bitcoin. I've been watching this fairly closely, right? Because everybody's getting, extremely bullish. Everybody's getting greedy. But I don't think people realize that it's very important to look at the macro time levels as well as to understand that at the current point on Bitcoin, it would not be unrealistic, or I should say, it would be very healthy to see that pullback, right? Because we have been expecting it. We are up 58% since these lows in September. And right now, currently, if you're not looking for a pullback, then I seriously don't think that you understand market fundamentals. Now, let's remove a few of these lines here, and let's actually look at this a little bit more realistic. So overall, how low could we go on Bitcoin? Well, I've told you guys that I've been calling for about 54.6K to be tested down here, because this is where a lot of that strong support from around October 12th was. But the overall demand zone for me personally is down here at about 50.5K, 50.6K if you will, to about 52.7K. Overall, we reject it perfectly at about 63K, which I mentioned in my video from earlier today. And when we're talking about Bitcoin on the macro time levels, the weekend is usually the time where we really see that major pullback. This weekend could be fairly bloody into, of course, the weekly close, which is tomorrow. So I'm watching Bitcoin very closely here, because if we do see that nice rejection, we will obviously see Bitcoin dominance, pretty much bring a lot of those altcoins down, because we do see that Bitcoin dominance jumped off of the support zone down here at about 45.77%, and this does not look like it's going to calm down and actually reject off of something up here, which would have been, that nice, resistance at about 46.6% that it hit, but that's not resistance going all the way back here. Realistically speaking, the major signs of resistance was about 46.5%, if you will. So overall, Bitcoin dominance is fairly high still. It has me concerned, especially concerned Bitcoin right now. So I'm just going to let you guys know about that. I mean, I warned you guys yesterday. I think I did 2 videos actually on it, especially one clarifying which date we could be seeing. Now, overall, what has me concerned is the altcoin market cap. So right now, as you guys do know, I've been watching the 702 retracement point, which would be at almost $3 trillion. We are still trading within the 786, which is at about 1.3 trillion. But as you guys do see, we couldn't break out of this point up here, which is almost $1.37 trillion. So right now, I'm looking for a solid rejection on this, possibly a retest of the bottom of the 702, which would be at around $1.23 trillion. If we could retest this and actually break above, this point at some point in time, that would be very great. We are seeing a lot of volume actually flow out of altcoins right now, and we are seeing the RSI kind of take a little bit of a deep dive. This is because of Bitcoin currently. Overall, I would like this structure to hold at the 702. That would be fairly good for us. If we break that, then I flip a little bit bearish. Now, we do see that the RSI is sharp descending on the 4-hour macro level. We are also seeing the volume pour out. We've actually had 3 solid red candles that were pretty much volume flowing out, and we haven't seen 3 solid red candles since around the 10th. And on the 10th, we could actually see on Bitcoin what was happening on the 10th. We had this nice little decline in pressure, which led us to this little pullback here, which wasn't much at all. So I'm not going to be too concerned. I'm not going to be bearish on this. We've seen, red candles in a row before. This is the macro time level, so of course you're going to see that. But we are pretty much bearish on every single macro level. We're seeing bearishness on the 2-hour. We're seeing that sharp decline on the RSI. We're seeing volume pour out. Again, on the 1-hour, sharp decline. The only thing that's not sharp declining is the 1-hour, but we are seeing that or the 1 day, my bad. We are actually seeing that flip into a little bit of a bearishness with the volume pouring out. And if we actually look back to about September 7th, look at the volume pouring out and look at where we pretty much bounced off of down here at about $1 trillion almost. And the volume was fairly bad, and this is the sharp decline that we're actually kind of looking for happening right now. Not in a good way, but I'm just seeing that this is a concerning factor right now for a lot of our altcoins. I'm also watching the total altcoin market cap because it is fairly important to watch this as well, because we are still seeing that decline in volume. We are still seeing the decline in the RSI. We are around my point of a retest of a major support zone at around 2.38 trillion, but we could see lower if, Bitcoin does allow it, or if the market allows it, if you will. So overall, I'm watching these charts fairly closely right now because they do look a little bit bearish. Now again, for anybody who has been watching XLM, let's go check out XLM real quick because it's doing incredible moves. I've said that we were pretty much ready to get a nice little volume push on XLM, and we finally seen that little bit of a rejection, or I should say a reversal off of the 33 centile range, which I said that we could be retesting perfectly. We did. We finally broke out of that 38.6 level. We retested, major resistance up here at about 42.5 cents. Looks fairly strong to me. Now, I've always said it doesn't matter what the USD chart is saying, it matters what the Bitcoin chart is saying. Right now, we don't see too much volume flowing out of this, or we don't see it really testing that too much of a high. So would I say that Stellar or XLM is going to retrace a little bit? Possibly. We could actually see a little bit of a retrace on Stellar, but I still think that it's great to see Stellar really kind of breaking out. I've been talking about, Stellar for a fairly long time. Now let's go to the macro time levels on this and let's see what's happening. So obviously a ton of volume on the 4-hour allowed us to go, a little bit on a ride to the top. Now we're seeing volume kind of pour out a little bit on the 4-hour. On the macro time level of the 2-hour, we're seeing the RSI come down. This could just be a little bit of a retracement before we get some more strength. Honestly, what is causing Stellar to break out? Nobody really knows. We don't really know, but we do know that Stellar did partner with MoneyGram. We know that Stellar is doing incredibly well, and we also know that on the Bitcoin price chart on the 1 day, we were pretty much ready to bounce out of this nice spot. Look at the reversal chart. I mean, if this isn't telling you that we were indeed ready for a nice reversal, then I don't know what will tell you that. All right, now what's going to be happening with XRP, right? Because XRP's RSI is kind of flatlined. It's nothing, too crazy. The volume is fairly, negative, if you will. We also see on the 4-hour macro time level, the volume is pouring out. The RSI is pretty much down. 2-hour, again, same thing. 1 hour, same thing. The 1 hour is actually fairly sharp with this. Now, I did say that XLM and also XRP do move fairly closely together, and they do, right? When we're talking about XLM right now, so let's go to the Coinbase chart. We're going to use Coinbase. So right now, we are seeing a little bit of a different story here. Excuse me. We are seeing that XRP jumped to about a 15.39% of an increase in price from the bottoming point of these candles down here. Essentially the bottom of this candle from, I think it was like yesterday. Now overall, am I concerned right now at all with, XLM pretty much doing the opposite of what XRP is doing? Absolutely not. I think that XLM has a little bit of, time to really kind of catch up to where XRP is, but I also think that these two could decouple away from each other and actually move in a little bit of a different story. But we do see XRP right now is up 9.25%, and we do see that XLM is only up about 1.49%, and that's changing as we do talk here. Now, these percentages are on the day span. These are on pretty much the daily candles from down here to around the topping points and so forth. So when we're talking about right now, what's XLM doing? I think it's trying to catch up with XRP in a sense of the price action lately. That doesn't mean that XRP is doing good. No way, there's no way that XRP is doing fairly good. We've been trapped in this nice chop zone for a while now, right? And we really want to break out of the 125 cent range. That is what I'm personally watching for. Now again, in regards to this reversal chart in the inverted chart of the XLM, this is what we want to see happen with XRP as well. Right now, we're not seeing that. We're actually seeing us trading below a little bit of a resistance point. Now, we are gaining strength on this. I would not be surprised if XRP breaks out a little bit, even though Bitcoin is kind of ranging lower. I'm watching this fairly closely in regards to the XRP Bitcoin price chart as well as the XRP USD pair to really kind of perform well with this, and also XLM. Because again, when we're talking about the reversal chart, the inverted chart, look at this, right? There hasn't been solid pressure on the Bitcoin price chart for XRP in a while. In fact, it's been, we could actually go off of the date span of the topping point to the bottoming point that we're at now. It's been 62 days. Now XLM is a little bit different, right? Because it's been a lot longer. If we're going to the topping point and we go to our point right now, it's been roughly about 153 days. So almost double the accumulation or consolidation points excuse me, that XRP has been going through. So overall, right now, would we be expecting a reversal on the XRP price chart? Possibly, yes. But I still think that XLM and XRP are not going to perform fairly well. And that doesn't mean that they can't perform good before this. But I don't think that they're going to, perform greatly until we get to the November-December timeframe, which is repeating the 2017, 2018, and 2013, 2014 price chart patterns. Now, let's talk about Hbar, because I do want to talk about Hbar a little bit. Again, is the RSI bottoming out? Are we getting some strength? Yes, we are getting some strength to push us up above 36.7. Am I excited? Absolutely not. We actually want to be back up in this green spot. We actually want to be above it. We want to be up here above 46 cents, almost 40, it's like 45.7. But overall, I'm going to call this 46 cents because that's where we actually want to be above. Now, right now, am I too impressed by the USD pair? No. In fact, I'm not even impressed by the Bitcoin pair because we're still in this nasty chop zone between major support and major resistance. So until we actually break out of this point, until we're actually above this red rectangle, I'm not going to be too ecstatic. And again, this goes for a lot of altcoins. This even goes for XLM. Like, don't get me wrong, XLM breaking out is fairly good for us. It's also a fairly good indicator. But look at where we are right now, right? We're going to be hitting resistance fairly soon. First off, there's a lot of resistance here. Okay, and then there's also resistance around the point that we are at right now. So we're going to be fighting with ourselves to get out of this major zone. But don't get me wrong, the RSI looks extremely good, and it looks like we could be seeing that nice reversal on the XLM price chart. But we've seen this before. Don't get me wrong, I'm still fairly excited for what this for what Stellar has been doing. But again, when we're talking about the USD pair, we have seen moves like this before, but we haven't seen 38.6 being broken before. And I think that that is a key accomplishment right now for Stellar, especially if we could flip this into support and continue higher to retest 80-some cents. I think that that would be incredible to see, and I think that that would be great to see. But there is a fairly large amount of resistance up here as well. For an example, there is resistance at around 50 cents exact. And there's, of course, resistance before we get to 80 cents. But I still think that this is great to see. I love when a lot of these altcoins are starting to break out of their nice descending wedge. For an example, New Cipher up 400% on the 7-day span. Stellar is the second greatest performing asset on the top 100 assets. So I think that that's great to see. ICP up 8%. Phantom up 8%, almost 9%. A lot of these assets are starting to perform a little bit better now, and that is most likely because there's a lot of buy pressure on altcoins right now as Bitcoin is ranging a little bit lower. Maybe some people are just accumulating altcoins. It is what it is, but I just don't think that we are just yet ready for the major alt season to happen. And don't get me wrong, I still think that alts are giving us that idea on what to expect from alt season, especially when we're seeing 400% on the 7-day span, which just didn't even take 7 days. This actually happened like this. It happened like 3 days ago on this asset. Like it started on the 15th, which was yesterday. So it happened yesterday with this massive breaking point, and this was like $3.60, and everybody was talking, down on this asset. But this is exactly what happens. Things move extremely fast, and I think that people really need to realize that once we get into the parabolic stage, you're not going to be able to control your emotions. You need to start learning how to control them now, because when we get to that point, You want to be able to take profit and capitalize on other people's emotions not being in control. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys do want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all enjoyed. And guys, if you do want more content, definitely check out the website NCashOfficial.com. But with that being said, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.